Hello and welcome to another Nimble video tutorial. So it's been a couple weeks since I've done a personal video. I've released the free version of Nimble for user consumption. Please feel free to check it out, download it, and let me know if you have any problems using the application. But today I want to give you an update on what I've been working on as of late. As I promised, when you use the builder design pattern, and particularly Nimble, you will be able to build faster, bigger, and more complex applications. So today I'm going to give you a look at my DevOps CI/CD flow for all the applications that I'm currently managing. This application took me about a week to lay down and create. This is the project folder, project that I currently have open. It's basically only 3 dialogues, and it's going to be a part of my Nimble workbench. Any DevOps related tools that I'm going to need for managing these apps will be put onto the workbench, but this is the first one, I assume, in a series of support tools that I'm going to have to create. This is a CI/CD flow. It's a simple, responsive dialogue that allows you to make edits to your code. It will keep an eye on folders and comparisons of folders and files, let you know if something has changed or something is different, and allow you to push new files through a process and through various projects that may share code. It's a little bit better than keeping things linked through repositories, because it's watching the codes for you rather than have to manage external links and remember where files are located. I've already built this project, so what I'm going to do is start it up and let you have a look. It is an Electron application. I still have it running in desktop mode, and what we will do is clear any of my current tasks and push it off to the corner. When the UI starts, it automatically starts a node task, which I will have displayed here in the lower right hand corner so that you can have a look at all 3 windows and you can fully see what's going on. This is Notepad++, and what this is going to simulate is you making code changes, or me coding and making Nimble more fabulous than it already is. This particular IDE in CI/CD application uses pure JSON objects to make things happen. What you're seeing here right now is a example JSON object that has a name, description, and some properties of whether it's enabled or currently running, a list of criteria that it's going to check, and the jobs that it's going to run once the criteria passes. It has a pretty complex criteria engine that runs in the background that allows you to compare folders, files, and probably even add logic to make sure it's meeting a particular criteria in order to trigger a job to start running. For the most part, it's just knowing if something changed, so it's detecting when files change. What I'm going to show you first is we're going to look at the nimbleJS runtime. Imagine I was making version 5 of the new runtime, and I was inside. This is the services library, and I made a change and I saved the file. So after adding a feature or changing the file, the node task runner detects, and it sends a request to the UI here that says that I've made a change. Do I want to trigger a build of the new JS core? After you've made all your changes, you would approve this. The logs get updated with the change, and you'll start to see it build the new JavaScript runtime. It obfuscates it and gets it prepared in the distribution folder so that it can be copied to any supported projects, or even populated to the nimbleJS staging location. As you know, I guess about a month ago, I stood up 4 Node.js servers and migrated all of my server farm to Node.js. I've since took down the application server 2 and just was able to work with just these 3 servers. If I get a heavy load, then I'll set up the other one. But for now, it's just 3 servers for the Node.js my Node.js platform. I duplicated this, so I have a staging environment that's run completely in Heroku for free, and my production environment is on my paid Node.js server. So the CI/CD flow is going to walk any updates to staging. Once I approve it from staging, it can be moved in FTP to production, and it should handle it all within the same application using Node.js and Nimble on the front end. So I have run the build on my JavaScript runtime. I'm going to now approve that this gets populated to all my current applications that are currently using it. It copies all the files. And then I'm going to even improve this to go to the staging server. Once it's copied into my Heroku staging server, it has a button to deploy it. Each JSON object has the ability to be enabled or disabled. I've made all deploy JSON objects disabled by default. So in order for me to get this change to any server, whether it's staging or production, it's a two-step method. You have to enable it first and then approve it. That'll keep me from making any, mistakes. But we all know you're gonna have a mistake. So that's the whole flow for deploying the nimbleJS runtime. Once it goes to staging, a new notification or confirmation comes for production. You approve that one, and then it is live. The same flow also exists if I was changing the IDE itself. These are factory, Nimble factories or classes that are support for the IDE to function. If I were to make a change to any of these supported files and save them, it detects all the distribution criteria for this file and then allows me to distribute and obfuscate the file. Currently, I do not have obfuscation on my desktop version, on my auth version of the Nimble IDE, only the free. So if I approve this task, it will then launch JSON obfuscate to obfuscate the files, deploy them to the free version, and get it ready to be compiled into the app. At this point, if I wanted, I could build the IDE for free, and then it would also let me upload the compiled IDE for distribution. This particular CI/CD flow does have the ability to have versioning on the JavaScript files. So you can tag a file with versions, and eventually I will have ability to revert deployments, so that for every version that I deploy, I will be able to create a on-demand task to revert back to a version in the event of a mistake. All of this was created in about 5 days. The backend server was created based off of the DOS factory or class. And I wanted to show this particular class for a reason, because Nimble itself as a whole is a platform similar to an operating system. And over the next 6 months or the next year, what you're going to see me do is break down this operating system into components. The first step was to break down the build process and create a build server. One of my next goals is to break down this DAW, what I call the DOS factory, which is simply an interface to the file system. And I'm going to also make a server out of it. And what it's going to create is Nimble Drive. And the best comparison is Google Drive. So within any Nimble application, you will have a file manager that will handle all your file processing in a seamless way to a file system on your hard drive. Lots more to come. Good things are happening. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.